Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends supervillains wave, Dormammu. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Quite simply show some love or join the members club. Much, much appreciated. Today we continue looking at the Marvel Legends supervillains wave, and today we've got Dormammu. Now this is of course the Xemnu Build-A-Figure wave. As you can see, a giant Xemnu arm in the packaging. Now this supervillains wave is of course an homage to the Bring on the Bad Guys wave from the Toy Biz era. So the whole wave is supervillains. We've already opened Red Skull. Today we're looking at Dormammu, and these could be the best two of the wave in my opinion. Definitely the two I was most excited about. This Dormammu is the first time we're getting him single packed in the Marvel Legends sort of modern era. We did get a Build-A-Figure in about 2015, so it was a little while ago now. And this Dormammu, yes, it is his classic look, but it's also how he's appearing in the comics currently as well. So it is sort of a modern and a throwback figure all at the same time. So if you're reading the new Guardians of the Galaxy, you know what I'm talking about. But we get Dormammu in the classic purple, interchangeable hands, flame effects, and of course the Build-A-Figure piece spinning around on the side. We get a picture of Dormammu, that same picture on the back of the box. We get a write-up that reads: a maniacal cosmic being with an unquenchable thirst for conquest, Dormammu uses extra-dimensional abilities to invade realms across all planes of existence. And then of course we get a list of all the figures in this wave we need to complete the Xemnu Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Dormammu. So as I said, this one, very much looking forward to seeing if it's an upgrade compared to the Build-A-Figure. Of course we'll do a full comparison. Let's open him up. So here we have Dormammu out of the packaging with all of his accessories on the table. Of course, he comes with the Build-A-Figure arm for Xemnu, so you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, check out the playlist, and come back because I always build the Build-A-Figure last. And here we have Xemnu's Robotic Arm. So I think he's a robot. Anyway, we shall find out. Today is about Dormammu, and if you are eagle-eyed, you will notice he is on the same body, the new body that we've seen with Red Skull. So we sort of already know what this guy's about. Interestingly enough, he's got trigger finger hands as well, but no guns. I don't think Dormammu particularly needs guns, but I just thought it was funny that he was actually packed with trigger finger hands. We do get a couple of sets of hands. I'll show them off in a minute, and these flame effects, which you've seen a million times before, but if they work, they work. So yeah, first impression. I like how he looks, but I'm very curious of what's going up top. So let's zoom in. Of course, the main event with Dormammu is this flaming skull on his head. So I like we've got the translucent plastic that wraps all the way around to the back of the figure. And there is some different tones of orange in there as well. Some darker orange, some sort of lighter orange here. So there's a little bit of contrast amongst the flames. And if you get some light and shine it on the back, you might get a nice sort of look with the mouth and the eyes lit up under that mask, which would be really good. I like this black crown as well. It's a nice contrast against the flame of the orange. That red mask is a separate sculpted piece, and those sort of lines are painted black and they're sculpted as well. So there's a lot of texture up here, and this sort of crown does come off. It unhooks at the chin, and again, it looks pretty good like that, but I do think the crown makes it stand out a little bit more. But we get a nicer look at the sort of mask there with that big open jaw. And if I lift his neck up, you can see the dumbbell joint for the neck, but there's also a little peg there, and that is for the crown. So my crown was separated in the box, but you can just sort of fit it on there, and it does sit there nice and firmly. Like, that's not going to come off. It's going to sit there. As I said, if I wiggle it, it's not coming off. And again, I like it. I like it, the contrast of the black. It makes it stand out. But overall, the main event for Dormammu is this flame head. Maybe the flames could have been a bit more yellow up top to sort of match some of the comic panels I like. But still, undoubtedly Dormammu, so no complaints from me. I do like that sinister big grin as well. The rest of the body, however, is what we've seen in the Red Skull review, as it is the same new jumpsuit that we got with Red Skull. This time it's just in the purple. So we got this pinless body on the arms and down to the legs. They've just switched things up with the sort of gloves, the wrists and the boots, of course. But first, let me pay attention to this harness piece, because this is a separate overlay to the jumpsuit that we got. And I like the spikes all the way around the collar of the jumpsuit. Like, if I spin it all the way around, you can see all these spikes for the collar. And then these pieces look like they can take your eye out, but they are made of a softer plastic, but it's still sturdy. Like, this doesn't seem like it's going to fall or of get droopy. Like, that's going to stay there. Doesn't get in the way of articulation either. The arms go up to 90, of course. You can still articulate the hands up and stuff, and it's not going to get in the way of articulation. So I quite like that. And the ab crunch is pretty good on this body, we've already seen. But if we look at his waist, if I move this separate piece down, this separate yellow bout, you can see the sculpt work that we've seen on Red Skull. So I like how they have this separate piece just to hide that waistband, to sort of give it a little bit of a different look. And the yellow definitely stands out against the purples and the reds. The reds of the gloves, the boots and the harness do all match. It's just a little bit glossier plastic up here on the harness, so no complaints with me on that. Moving down to the boots, you can see all these spiky boots all the way around. Again, looking good. There's more pinless legs, of course. And then the arms, got these new gloves on. And again, we've noticed he's already got trigger finger hands. Now, I do not think an interdimensional being like Dormammu needs to carry weapons. But if you want your Dormammu to have guns, you can, because he's got trigger fingers. However, you do have options because he has some interchangeable hands, which include a set of fisted hands, so this interdimensional being still can punch you in the face if he wants to, as he had some fisted hands. He also has a set of open palm, grabby hands that seem a lot more in character for Dormammu. So these work very nicely, and I think these were going to work best with the other accessories, which are these flame effects that we can wrap around the wrist to sort of replicate the fire that's coming out of his head. And I like these. We've seen these pieces before. These are just a soft plastic that we've had with other effect pieces. This time we're getting them in sort of a gradient colour, yellow to red. Usually they're all in one block colour. So I like that they're a bit gradient. And of course these are just made of a soft plastic, and you can just sort of wrap them around the wrist and the hand. There's no real rules to it. Just whatever works. And now you can get your Dormammu all posed up, and he's got the fire on his hands ready to go. So again, our Dormammu does not need trigger finger hands when he's got flames and interdimensional powers. And yeah, this Dormammu looks very nice. As I said, I'm always curious to see how some light setups are going to look shining up the face, so you can see the features of the mouth and the eyes much nicer. But yeah, overall, I'm not going to go for articulation because it is the same body that Red Skull came on. So go and check out the playlist and the Red Skull review. But yeah, this Dormammu is very nice. Let's get into some comparisons. So here we have our Dormammu comparison. Now this, of course, is the Build-A-Figure that we've seen around 2015-16. It was the first Doctor Strange movie's Build-A-Figure, and it was a very nice Dormammu in this particular look. However, I do like that we now got this classic option in the smaller scale. Dormammu is one of those characters that can sort of manipulate his scale, so I don't mind having two different versions of Dormammu I can place in different sections of my display. And of course, just for comparison's sake, you can see that the single packed version with the flames is just about 7 inches to the top of his flame, where the Build-A-Figure is of course about 9 inches to the top of his flame. So definitely a difference in scale, but no wrong answer. Like, obviously there's a room for both of these amongst a cosmic comic display. Well, not so much cosmic, would you say mystic? Even still, as well, I guess it is cosmic, because this version of Dormammu is currently running around in the Guardians of the Galaxy comic. So yeah, I guess we can say cosmic. And just for anybody that was curious, here's a very irrelevant head swap because I don't think it works at all. If we bring in this Dormammu, you can sort of see how the head is way too big for the figure, of course, but that's what you would expect when you've got a Build-A-Figure head on a regular sort of body. But I guess for Dormammu, you might be able to get it to work if you want it to, but that smaller head on that body is a bit ridiculous. But still, anyone who's curious, now you know. So here we have a Dormammu compared to Red Skull, both figures from this supervillain Xemnu Build-A-Figure wave, and we're off to a great start because these are both classic looks for two iconic villains that we needed for our comic shelves, and they are both on this new sort of pinless jumpsuit body. Of course, we get the green here for Red Skull and the purple for Dormammu, but there are enough differences where you don't really notice. It's not super obvious. Of course, we've got the different gloves and the boots here on Dormammu, and then he's got this extra sort of overlay harness and flame head, which makes him seem a lot chunkier from the top. But it is the same body, just with these added pieces. But when it's done right, I don't mind it at all. The waistband is sculpted here, and they've hid it very well with this separate yellow sort of piece around the waist. But yeah, no complaints from me. When it works, it works. And again, completely pinless. I'm sure we are going to see this again in the Marvel Legends era. So let me know any suggestions in the comment where you think Hasbro can use this base body. But I really like it, and it definitely works for these two characters. Staying with some villains, here we have Dormammu compared to two more big bads from the comics. It is, of course, Kang and then the retro Doctor Doom. And again, the villains are starting to rack up very nicely amongst our comics displays, especially in their most iconic look. So, yeah, it's nice to tick Dormammu off that list. So I'm going to wrap it up here and give you my final thoughts on this Dormammu. First things first, I don't have a good comic Doctor Strange to even compare Dormammu to. So hopefully with the new Doctor Strange movie coming out next year, we get a nice updated classic Doctor Strange to add to our comic shelves to go along with this Dormammu, as I said, in his current look, but also his classic look. So this can fit in multiple places in your collection on a nice new pinless body. I do think aesthetically it fits very nicely in with the new Marvel Legends. It's very clean, slick, tidy. I just like it. Hasbro Marvel Legends are doing a great job, and this Villains Wave is just another example of them knocking it out of the park when it comes to giving us some of these classic comic characters. So let's hope for a wave 2. We shall see, because there's still plenty more villains they can give us, but we're off to a great start with this wave, and we're still only just started. There's still more figures from this wave to open up, so you know what to do. Check out the playlist, check out the videos tab, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. You can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Quite simply show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. I'm on Twitter at Dan Who Reviews, and as always, I will see you on the next one.